Hey everybody, welcome to the Epic Empire team call. Thank you so much for spending your Wednesday night with us. I know you guys have a million other things you could be doing, but you're here investing time in yourself and in your business, so I will try to value, try to make sure that we actually go over something that will help you. But I like to start out with some recognition. We have a document in Epic Empire. I say this every call because we have so many new coaches, and I want to make sure you guys know this is the way you get recognized. So in Epic Empire, you'll see a document. Each month we create a new one, and this one says August 2015 Success Club. Basically, you go in and you edit the document, whatever your Success Club points are. And so on our team calls, when I announce, how everybody's doing, that's where I'm getting these numbers from. I don't go back into my back office and find all you guys. That would be too much time, and y'all are all grown-ups and own your own businesses. So make sure you put your numbers on here so I can give you a shout out when you are doing really well. All right, sorry, my phone's plugged in and it's barely reaching me. All right, let's see here. Who is on the board? It's Team Cup month, so that we should have a lot of people on the board. I think some people are trying to hide their numbers. Alex, try to be sneaky with your team. I can see your numbers. All right, on the board we have Jamie Drummy. I have no clue who you are, Jamie. Are you on this call? No, she's not here. She's got 4 points. This is like Epic Empire is growing so fast. There's so many names here I don't even know, and it blows my mind. Mind blown. Tracy, you're at 2 points. Maria, you're at 2 points. Sarah Graham, 1 coach and 4 points. Barbara, I'm going to call you Barbara L because I'm not real sure how to say Lichtenauer. Not sure. Yeah, 2 points. And Victoria, 1 coach, 2 points. Lee at 4 points. Lee, you've been such a motivator on our team page, so thank you for that. Sandra at 4 points, Amy at 2 points, Katie Barber at 3 points, and Annette at 4 points. Where's Annette? Is she here? I don't see her. That's everybody that's on the board. And going into Success Club 5, these are people who have achieved Success Club, are Katrina at 1 coach and 6 points. Then we have Beth at 7 points. Brittany Fleetwood at 2 coaches and 6 points, and she is going to Emerald tomorrow, so I'm super excited to announce that. Julie Robertson at 2 coaches and 6 points. Rin Young at 6 points. And Success Club 10, we have Kelly Slaughter at 10 points. That's amazing. Brand new coach, just doing amazing things. Jenny at, holy crap. Where did that come from, Jenny? Oh my gosh, you're like brand new. 17 points and 2 coaches. Who's Jenny's upline? Sarah, look at you mentoring rock stars. That's amazing. Good job. Nicole Chapman at 2 coaches and 5 points. Stephanie Dooley at 10 points. I'm at myself, 2 coaches and 10 points. Alex Grimm at 2 coaches and 14 points. And Carla at 3 coaches and 14 points. Now, some of you guys are like, what the heck are all these numbers? And let me side note that Carla, like I said, is getting married this weekend, and she's at Success Club 14 and signed 3 coaches. So she's still making it happen when we know the busyness of life and work and being a mom and planning a wedding or getting ready to get married. So no excuses, right? She's getting it done. With Success Club, just to explain it real quick in case it makes no sense to you and these numbers are like, what the heck does that mean? If you sell Challenge Pack, you get 2 points. If you sell Shakeology Home Direct, you get 1 point. So that's where these points are coming from. It's just a great way to track. And I've always said that Success Club 5 is a non-negotiable for your business if you're actually wanting to grow a business, because that is where your challengers will come from, and then that is where your coaches will come from. They typically come from challenge groups, which goes into what we're going to cover tonight, because it's that secret question. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, I got all these challengers. How the heck do I get coaches, right? And that's what the lady is going to cover tonight on our call. So I'm super excited to go over that and hear what she has to say. Let's see. Do we have any news? Libby, can you think of anything that I need to cover? Super Saturdays in October. So make sure you check out that date and save the date for whatever your Super Saturday is. They're in North Carolina, Georgia, DC. So make sure you have a save the date, ahead of time that you'll be there. It's a very, very vital for your business for you to be at a Super Saturday. Anything else? I don't think so. All right, so we're going to get into tonight's call. Update it. I don't know what updated means. Oh, you're talking about my phone. Libby's texting me. Sorry. All right, let me screen share. I'm always paranoid when I screen share. I'm like, there's a frog. It like filters through these random pictures. All right, let's make sure this works. Let me cut off my Facebook. Libby, can you see it? I can't see you guys, so.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, good. All right, we'll get started. I kind of cut off the intro part because it wasn't necessary, but this is Carly Del Carlo. She's a top 10 coach in 2014. She is a 5-star diamond. She's had 21 months in Success Club 20 plus. So that's 21 every month. She has had over 20 Success Club points for 21 months. That's like mind-blowing to me. That's like Carla status. Just kidding. So that's amazing, and I'm excited to hear what she has to say about how to effectively transition people from a challenger to a coach. So make sure you take some notes.
For you guys having me here. If you're used to slides, I'm sorry I don't have slides. Actually, Lindsay did our team call last week, and I was like, oh, shoot, I should really start using some slides. But I'm kind of a talker, so if you want to take notes that way, I hope you have something to take away by the end of this call. But to be honest, I don't have any slides, and I'm so sorry, but maybe next time I do the call, I will have slides. But anyways, I know a lot of you probably listened to my National Wake Up Call. If you didn't, maybe you should. I know a lot of people really connected with it, but just in case, I'll go over my story a little bit so you can kind of hear why I'm a coach, my journey, and the reason, when Lindsay said, what kind of topic would you want to talk about when we exchanged team call ideas? And I said challenger to coach conversion, because I was a challenger and then I became a coach. And I actually was really, hesitant, I guess, is to put it lightly. I was hesitant about becoming a coach and really, truly didn't want to do it. Wasn't a fan of any of that. So let me start from the beginning though. I just turned 25. I've been saying 24, but I just turned 25. And I have been a coach, like Lindsay said, for less than 2 years. I think it's been a little over a year and a half. It'll be 2 years in May, so whatever the math is for that. My story started when I was younger. I had always kind of been overweight, kind of gained weight slowly, just been the chubbier kid, I guess you could say. I just was really uncomfortable as a young kid into teens, into young adulthood. I know I'm still a young adult, so I understand, but I was just kind of overweight, and I eventually started finding my rhythm in working out. I ended up falling in love with working out when I was about 20. I actually lost about 70 pounds in the course of, maybe a year and a half. But I also developed a really severe eating disorder. I wasn't feeding myself properly, and I was working out a ton, which is great because I love to work out, and it instilled that in me. But the food side of things never really clicked with me. So fast forward a little bit, when I was at UCLA, I was in a sorority, so I was surrounded by girls all the time, and just easy ways to compare myself. And I started falling back into eating disorder habits, but in the opposite way. And I started binging and just not treating myself properly. So when I graduated UCLA, I was living in an apartment on my own in Brentwood. If anyone knows the LA area, it's absolutely wonderful there. I love it and I miss it. And I was living by myself in an apartment, and I was in this weird in-between space of, okay, I graduated UCLA with a pre-law degree. I am enrolled in graduate school. I was on my way and had a deposit down and everything. When I realized that I was super unhealthy and super unhappy, honestly, that's what I should have said first, is I was unhappy. And I had all these things going for me. I had an incredible education. I had an incredible family. I lived in a great apartment. But I felt like there was something missing, and I just wasn't taking care of myself. And I didn't realize till I stepped on the scale that actually from the time I graduated UCLA in June until March, so maybe that's like a span of 6 months, 5-6 months, I had gained close to, I think, 30 or 40 pounds of the original 70 I had lost. And it was really, really shameful for me. And it was really something hard to grasp as a 22-year-old at the time, just trying to figure out where to go. So anyway, long story short, I started binging and just not treating myself well. Just everything awful that you can imagine happened in that apartment. I just wasn't taking care of myself. And like many of you, I'm assuming, I actually was following somebody on social media, and she was posting about like these weird jumping turbo videos, and I was like, that blonde girl looks familiar. I realized it was Shalene Johnson. I'd been taking classes with her since I was a teenager in my hometown, and she was talking about superfood shakes, something I didn't know, but I was like, okay, I need some help. I got to do this. Whatever this challenge is, this thing is that she's talking about, I'm going to do that. So in the same spot, this is part of my story. So in the same couch and the same spot that I binged on 10,000 calories in a matter of 3 hours, I think it was, true story, is the same place I also signed up to be a coach. And I signed up to be a challenger and ended up changing my life. Same couch, same apartment, same place. That was it's an incredible turn of events how that happened. But I ended up joining as a challenger, and I fell in love with, actually, I'm not going to lie, I hated Shakeology at first. So if you have anybody who hates Shakeology, or if you hate Shakeology but you believe in it so much and it's important and it's powerful, just so you know, a top 10 coach hated it too. So I always try to encourage my team to be super honest and real, because I didn't like it, but I knew it had all these amazing foods in it that I was already buying at Whole Foods. I'm like, why am I spending $200 at Whole Foods when A, I can't afford that, and B, it's in a shake. It's done for me. I don't have to put it all together. It's all there. So, lo and behold, I kept drinking my Shakeology, and I ended up falling in love with it. Now, like I'm sure many of you, I can't go a day without it. But at first, I absolutely hated it. I started working out, and I started working out in a space of maybe like 3 feet in between my coffee place and my coffee table and my fireplace. And anyway, I started falling in love with Beachbody, and I started posting on social media. If any of you follow me on Instagram, I have a pretty large Instagram following at this point. I'm sure a lot of them are coaches though. But in the beginning, I just honestly created an Instagram account because I was like, I just want to like post some health and fitness pictures, and I just want to inspire somebody. And I was just that person where I just wanted to inspire people. And about 2 months into my journey, I started getting all these messages from people saying, you should be a coach. You should be a coach. Have you ever thought about it? And I was thinking, no, I've not thought about it. And please leave me alone. Like, no. And it actually ended up being one person who ended up changing my life and encouraging me and telling me that they believed in me to become a coach. She ended up living like 10 minutes from me in LA. She was in Venice Beach, and it just kind of clicked. I just had those moments. You're like, okay, God, I get it. I should do this. That happened. And I was like, okay, I should do it. So the same couch where I binged and then signed up for a challenge pack ended up being the same couch I sat on and signed up to be a coach, which forever changed my life. And for me, going from challenger to coach was a little bit tough, which is why I spend so much time training my team and teaching them how to better transition their challengers to coaches, and why I'm going to talk to you guys about it tonight, because I had a really rough time, not with helping people or inspiring, but with seeing myself as a leader. And immediately I knew who Lindsay Matway was. I knew who Melanie Mitchell was. I know who all these big coaches were. And I felt like I wasn't that person. Like I'm not blonde, first of all. I'm not even a six packs, multiple. No, I didn't have a six pack. I didn't, I don't know. These are all things I told myself in my head, that I didn't have all these things. And it took the moment when I started counting all the things that I did have for me to be successful. So back up a little bit. When I first became a coach, in my first month, I hit Success Club 40. Mind you, I didn't know what that was at the time. I was that coach where I was like, I'm just going to talk to a bunch of people. I'm just going to tell them, I'm going to post on social media. I'm going to tell my friends and family. I'm just going to do that. And I didn't know what Success Club was. I didn't really even know what a challenge pack meant. I just knew that I started my journey with Turbo Fire and Shakeology. So when people were asking me, what are you doing? I was like, I'm drinking I'm drinking Shakeology and I'm doing Turbo Fire. And people were like, okay, sign me up. And it's not always that easy, trust me. But in the very beginning, people were intrigued. They wanted to know what I was doing. And without me even knowing what Success Club was, all it took was me knowing I was doing something that made me happy and I wanted to share it with other people. So fast forward a little bit, I actually didn't hit diamond until, I think 8 months into the business. Again, this is a little bit about that transition. I saw myself as a coach and a challenger forever, and I kind of will be forever a challenger. That's just how I am. I almost run those groups for me too, just to hold myself accountable. And I didn't see myself as a leader. My upline star diamond, and I'm 4 levels deep in her organization, kind of reached out to me. She's like, who is this random person hitting Success Club like 40 and 50 every month? And why is she an Emerald coach? I was an Emerald because my mom and my dad were my 2 coaches. So I, for 8 months, just sat and I was changing all these lives and helping all these people, but I wasn't moving my business. So, when people say, oh my gosh, you did top 10 in a year and a half, like truly, I didn't start moving my business until January 2014, when I really started growing a team and creating coaches out of my challengers. And I know that was kind of long-winded, but I wanted to give you some background on why this is so not important, but something I'm so passionate about, and something that I try to explain to people as best I can, because it's important to know that it was hard for me too. And I explain that to my coaches and my new coaches and the coaches' coaches. So it's something because, for me, there's different teams in this business. A lot of, some teams are really coach driven, and people join the network they want to become coaches and they want to change people's lives and inspire people. The people I attract are people who need help, and people who need help with their health and fitness. And it takes a little bit more work and effort, but it's a lot of reward at the end, though, when you spend that time making sure that people can see themselves as leaders. So for me, like I said, you guys, it took one person telling me that I could do it, and I was like, okay, like I'll try that, and I'll give it a try. For a long time, the reason I didn't want to grow a team of coaches, because I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be a network marketer. I didn't want to be an MLM person, a pyramid person, like just totally against it. So if you're kind of sitting here, if you're a newer coach and wondering like if this is for you and you think it's a pyramid, it's totally not. It's been the most incredible journey of my life. But I was afraid, and I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to recruit, because I hate that word recruit, even though I use it all the time now. But anyway, my story and my leadership and my style and my team all started to blow up when I decided that I was going to help people. And you might be thinking, well, you were helping people, you got challengers. But I realized, I tell my coaches, if you're not telling people about a challenge group, if you're not telling people about Shakeology and Beachbody and our workouts, you're depriving somebody of changing their life. And it took me realizing, by me not telling people about the coaching opportunity, I was also depriving them from something super amazing. A light bulb moment for me was when I reached out to one of my very first challengers. She's one of my diamonds now, soon to be 2-star. But she was my very first customer who signed up, besides my parents. My very first customer. And I reached out to her and I was like, I don't know, I'm going to try this thing of like teaching new coaches. Would you want to be a coach? And she was like, oh my gosh, I was afraid you'd be mad at me that I didn't want to be a challenger, but I wanted to be a coach. And I was like, oh no, this is so strange. So it was a light bulb. I'm like, if Sarah wanted to do it, who are all the rest of the people that maybe wanted to be coaches? And I never knew, and I never asked. So it took me kind of seeing myself as a leader and seeing the ability to teach others how to lead is what the light bulb moment was. I always say that I teach people how to help people, how to help people to help people. It's this it's a snowball. If you help somebody and you teach them how to help somebody, it'll never end. And it's incredible. So for me, I just kind of dove right in on that person, where if I say I'm going to do something, I just kind of do it. Which is why, when I said I was going to go for top 10 in January of 2014, I had no idea what I was doing. But I knew I wanted to help people help people. And it's so funny because obviously now I have systems like Brittany and Lindsay and the rest of the top 10. I have systems, but when I started, all I knew was I knew how to hit Success Club. I knew how to tell people they could be great coaches. And I knew that I could teach people how to help other people. And that's all I really knew. So if you're sitting there thinking, I know how to help people, I know how to inspire, I know how to tell people they'd be a great coach, those are all the things that you need. I guarantee you don't need anything special or fancy. Just if you believe in yourself and you believe you have the ability to teach somebody how to help somebody, you're going to be an incredible coach. You could be the next 15-star diamond or whatever it is. Because at the end of the day, this business is about helping people. And if you're not willing to help people and see yourself as a leader in helping others, it's not going to happen. But if you see those things, those 3 simple things, don't worry about the systems yet. Don't worry about the numbers yet. Just start going and start moving that snowball effect. So that was kind of a broad version of what I'm going to say, but this is kind of the meat of the calls, which is what I want to talk about, systems, because I do now have systems for turning my challengers into coaches. For a long time, it was just kind of a hot mess. I would just kind of post like, who wants to be a coach? And it was just not good. It wasn't good. And then I realized there were certain coaches on my team who would join and they would excel. And I was like, what am I doing with them that's different than all the other people that joined? And I kind of pinpointed what was going on. So for me, I'm going to kind of walk you guys through what I do in my challenge group. So I run new challenge groups every single month. It seems like a lot of work. It might sound like it, but to be quite honest, it's not. I like to start fresh every month. I think it gives people just, I don't know, a new perspective, something to look forward to, something exciting. So anyway, I start new challenge groups every month. At the beginning of every month, I make a list. It's just honestly on my phone, the notepad, and it's called Challengers to Watch. It's literally, and I don't know how you guys run your group, but me, do a welcome video and do a welcome post and tell about themselves. And there's a certain light that you can tell in people and a spark in people that you can see. And for me, I'm pretty good at seeing, gosh, they have great leadership qualities. And I'll just write their name down on my notepad on my phone and for challengers to watch. And it's just people that I want to keep my eye on and people that I think would be incredible coaches if I just kind of nudge them that way. So I make that list in the beginning of the month. It's just something that I keep and tracked with. And, one of my assistants helps me now. That's one of the beauty of growing your business and being successful is you can kind of have people help and delegate. So they help me with that, but it's something that we do together and they track all of my challengers. And then I also have a system of making sure that people who are showing leadership qualities are getting shouted out. If you're anything like me, recognition is kind of fun. You like to, it doesn't have to be anything sparky or fancy, but even just sometimes a shout out from your coach is like, oh, that's nice. She recognized what I was doing. So for me, if Alice posts in the group or answers a question about she was having an off day, but she decided to work out anyways, and she hopes everyone else does, I'll just make a post in the group and be like, shout out to Alice. She's showing amazing leadership qualities. I can't wait to see your journey unfold. You're inspiring me already. I can't imagine the other people that you're inspiring in this world, and just, shout her out. And that will in turn pay it forward. So when you're going, 30 days in or 60 days in, whenever you feel most comfortable reaching out to somebody about coaching, and you say, hey, Alice, I just want you to know you would be an incredible coach. And of course, what does everyone say? Well, why? What do you mean? No, I wouldn't. And you say, and no, remember that time, you did this or you did that. And it gets their wheels turning and thinking, oh yeah, I remember when Carly said I was showing leadership qualities. I remember when Carly was saying that I led the group in a positive way on that, last Monday. It plants seeds in their mind that when you bring that up, and you bring up the coaching opportunity, they're already seeing themselves as leaders in some way. And even if it's the smallest way, shout people out. People love recognition. And just in your group, if you want to do it on your wall too, that's cool. But I just do it in the group. So that's something that I have noticed really, really helps just plant seeds early on with my challengers. And it's funny because I've noticed when I get lazy and I don't do those things and I'm not paying attention to my challengers' non-scale victories and their triumphs for the day and the things that they're doing amazing. When it comes to recruiting coaches, my numbers are usually really, really low because I slacked off in the beginning of the month when I should have been affirming them and telling them how wonderful they are and how incredible they are from day one. And I'm not saying, shout out everyone in the page. If somebody's not doing anything, or if they're complaining about Shakeology and they don't know how to make it, I don't shout those people out. I shout out the people who are positive and uplifting and inspiring, and they remember that. People will remember when you take the time to shout them out and really put them in the spotlight for something that they didn't even realize they were doing an incredible job at. But just know, if you slack off in that early part of the challenge group when you're just noticing what they're doing and commenting on it and just encouraging them, it'll be really, really hard to then recruit them to be a coach when they don't know why you're telling them they'd be a great coach. Because it's really hard if you're saying, hey, Alice, you'd be a great coach, and then you're like, why? And she has nothing tangible to latch onto that makes her remember she'd be an incredible leader. And it has nothing to do with, you don't have to shout out and say, shout out to Alice, who'd be a great coach. Just say she's showing leadership and she's showing inspiring qualities. That's it. People just want to know that they're being recognized for doing something awesome. And clearly Alice or whoever your challenger is doing something awesome, and they need to be recognized for that. System number 3, so just to go over 1 and 2. 1 is making your list at the very beginning of the month. It can be maybe for the first few days of the month. I mean, if somebody's not participating in the first few days, I mean, are they maybe going to be a great coach? I don't know. I usually not, if they're not participating right off the bat. For me, it's the people who are like on fire, loving it, totally want to do it. That's number 1, is making that list of challengers to watch. Number 2 is making sure to affirm your leaders in your group. I mean, we're all really great at shouting out, new emeralds and new diamonds and new star diamonds and top success club points and blah, blah, blah. But it starts with challenge groups, to be quite honest. And if you start that and start affirming people from day 1, it's like when they do become a coach and they get that first 2 points on the success club board and they're on the weekly leaderboard, it's like, oh my gosh, they recognition becomes part of our team culture, and at least for my team, and I know for the Bombshell Dynasty too, because I see your guys' recognition posts. So just know that recognition goes a long way. So like I said, number 1, make your list of people to follow. Number 2, make sure you're affirming people, and at least once a day, shout out 1 or 2, depending how big your group is. At least once a day, shout out somebody, and even if it's the same person every day, who cares? They're going to be a rock star coach someday probably. So make sure you're just affirming somebody and shouting them out at least once a day. My third system is I do a call. So I first post it in my challenge groups and I say, hey, you guys, I've been getting a ton of questions about coaching. I figured, why don't we all just hop on a call together and we can all talk on Zoom. It'll be just a conference call, nothing special. You can hop on whenever you want. It'll be, Q&A style, just super casual. What do you guys think? And everyone's always like, yeah, sure, that sounds fun. And you guys, honestly, even if you get one person asking about coach or 0, even if you have nobody asking about coaching, or if you have all 20 of your challengers asking about coaching, say you've been getting a ton of questions about it. It makes people think like, oh, like there's, it's a sense of urgency. So it's a little white lie, but it gets people talking and it gets people moving, because honestly, you guys, I can't even tell you how many times I've had that, week 3 call and people will be like, oh my gosh, I've been thinking about coaching since like the 3rd day of this challenge group. And I just didn't know how to approach it. I didn't know if I lose you as my coach. It's so funny because I have really strong bonds with my challengers, and oftentimes they're worried about asking me if they can be a coach because they are afraid they're going to lose me as a coach. And I'm like, no, you become even more special to me when you're a part of my team. So if you're ever afraid of talking to your challengers about coaches, don't worry. See, I guarantee you there's going to be somebody in there who's like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this. Thank you. So my third system, like I said, is a group call. If you're not comfortable with doing a group call, I would say get comfortable with doing a group call. I was going to make an excuse for you and do like a live chat. No, do a call, do something live, face to face, because you eventually, when you want to be a star diamond or a diamond or even an emerald, you're going to be leading your own team calls anyway, right? And how it's so much less pressure when it's just your challengers. You're hanging out talking about health and fitness. So do a call. I was about to say do a chat if you're not comfortable with it, but get outside your comfort zone. Do a call, and even if it's just a conference call over the phone too, that's cool. I just am a big believer in the power of seeing somebody face to face. So that's something that I think is really powerful. But get on that call. Maybe do it on a Thursday night or a Sunday night. Ask people, and that's another way to get people engaged. And say, hey, I did a call since I've been getting all these questions about becoming a coach. Remember, whether you are, whether you're not, still say that. And when you say, hey, what day works best for you guys? You'll just get a ton of engagement, and it gets people excited, and they're putting their input in. They're like, oh, I can do Sunday. I can't do Thursday, or whatever it is. It just gets people talking, to be quite honest, because sometimes in challenge groups, it's like pulling teeth, and that's okay. I go through it too. And I consider myself challenge group queen, so I have those moments too. But just know, when you get people to be talking about it, it's just opening up a conversation. Just like when you're opening up a contact list or a conversation with somebody about joining a challenge group or getting a challenge pack, talking about coaching is just another conversation you're opening. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Don't stress about it. Keep it casual. So do that week 3 call. And the only reason I say week 3 is because I found that's like my sweet spot. I don't know what it is about week 3. That's just when I like to do it. it. So actually, speaking of which, I just realized I was traveling out of town last week and I didn't do my week 3 post. So I'm going to have to do that sometime this week and make it a week 4 call. But for some reason, the week 3 in the month is just a sweet spot. So if you're like me and you kind of like a plan, you're type A, make it week 3. If not, make it week 2 or 4, whatever you want. But make sure you're having a conversation and opening it up and making it super low key and saying, hey, we're just going to have a conversation. I've been getting a ton of questions. Let's do it. And after the call, I always make sure, this is where another recognition thing comes in, I always make sure to shout out everyone in the team page who was on, whether it was one person with me hanging out or it was 5 people, 15 people, 50 people. I always shout them out in our challenge group and said, we had an incredible conversation. I've loved the call. I can't wait for, you guys to join my team or for you to learn more about coaching, depending on what point they're at after your conversation. I always shout them out. And then I always record the call. Make sure to record the call. I use Zoom. I'm super, not fancy. So I use Zoom and I record it. I post that in the group too, maybe usually like the next morning, and I'll say, hey, another shout out to everyone who hung out with us last night on the call. If you missed it, here's the recording. I also send it in an email. I'm just kind of bombarding them with this information. So there's no way they can miss it. And knowing that we had this conversation about becoming coaches. So I post it in the group. I shout out those who are on the call, and I also email it to them and just say, hey, you're my current challengers. We had a call. Maybe you missed it. You may be out of town, birthday party, whatever it was. Wanted to make sure that you had the opportunity to listen to this call. Then usually at least one person, becomes a coach from that challenge group. Again, what do? Shout them out. And I shout out and make sure they know how excited I am for them to become a coach. And whether if they are blind and never saw the recording and they see somebody being shout out, they're like, wait, Brianna's becoming a coach. What about me? And they all start asking questions. And the point of all this recognition and shout outs and posting is just to create a conversation and to create an open conversation with your challengers, because it can be something that is intimidating for us as coaches and for your challengers. As nervous as you might be, they might be nervous to talk to you about becoming a coach. So that's where the organization and the call and the recognition all comes in. So that's probably the most important part of that topic or of this process is that call, because I feel like that's when people really, really connect with me and see my heart and see my passion and see what we're about. So so in the beginning of my challenge groups, kind of backtracking for a second, I do make mandatory friend requesting each other. And the reason I used to do this just because I thought it was fun. And I was like, that is strategic, because when somebody becomes a coach, I usually send them like a coach or welcome to the team thing. Often I actually do a point system for participation in my challenge groups. So I've noticed that the people who participate the most in my challenge groups end up becoming coaches. And when I send them a gift or send them team gear, they always post it on their wall. And the other challengers that they're friends with see it. And they're like, wait, I want stuff from Carly. What's that? So it's strategic now, making sure that everyone is friends, because it's just yet another way for people to be exposed to the opportunity. I'm all about exposure. I'm all about expanding your reach, and that can mean social media and new contact lists, or it can mean expanding your reach within your own challenge group. So if those are things, if any of those 3 things are things that you haven't quite grasped yet or haven't done yet, don't be afraid to start now. Like, honestly, it's week 3. Make a post tonight in your challenge group, or it's week 4. Make a post in your challenge group tonight and say, hey, I've been getting a ton of questions about coaching. Who wants to jump on a call? And even if you've gotten none, please, I guarantee you something, at least it will open up a conversation. Even if no one wants to get on a call, at least you're opening up the conversation and you're getting that out there, the opportunity out there. Because if you're not putting yourself out there, inviting people into challenge groups, you're depriving somebody of changing their life. If you're not telling them about the coaching opportunity, you're also depriving them from changing their lives. And it kills me that it took me 8 months to really recruit coaches and try and build this business, because I'm like, where would I be now? But that's okay. Everything that I went through and why it took me so long has made me the leader and the person I am today. So I totally understand if you're kind of that person, you're sitting in the sidelines and maybe you're hitting Success Club every month, which is an incredible achievement, by the way. and you're just kind of sitting there, but you don't quite see yourself as somebody who can teach people about the business, don't think about it like that. Think about it that you're going to teach people how to help people, and you're going to teach them how to help people. And it makes it so much more, at least I hope it does, I'm patting myself on the back, but it makes it so much more, I was going to say graspable. That's not a word, but it makes it easier to grasp the concept when you're thinking about it as the way of, okay, I know how to help people. I know how to hit Success Club. Let me see what can happen if I add 3 coaches this month and help them do the same thing. It's so much more simple. You don't have to recruit 30 coaches in 1 month. Recruit 2 or 3, recruit 1, do something to move your business, because the amazing thing about this business is the income becomes residual when you start to grow your team and you pour that time and energy into helping people help people. And I know Lindsay is a big, I mean, obviously a great example of that, teaching you guys how to teach people how to help people. It's just, I mean, has blessed her business times a million. And I know that I'm going to get there too, because I made that decision to not overthink it and to make it something simple where I knew how to help people. And now all I do is help people help people. That's all I do. And that's all I do every single day, all day. So make it simple, you guys. Make it, I want to keep saying graspable. That's not a word. Make it easy to grasp for your challengers, and make it something that's available. If, you know, I always tell my coaches who are telling me that they're not hitting Success Club at the end of the month, and I go to their pages and they like haven't posted anything inspiring at all this month. They haven't posted a call to action. They haven't asked any questions. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, people aren't going to know that you have something to offer if you're not talking about it, right? Just like coaching. How do you expect to be a 15-star diamond coach if you're not talking to people about the coaching opportunity? So this also might not be your struggle. You might be like, hey, I recruited 20 coaches last month. I'm good. That's cool too, but maybe you'll take some time to think about it in a more strategic way after this call, in a way of opening up a conversation instead of just recruiting a bunch of people. Create a conversation and create a safe space for people to talk. I think oftentimes when people start talking about the coaching opportunity, they assume that we're just going to, you know, suck them up and recruit them and make them one of our little minions. But when you make it a call and you make it a conversation in a challenge group, it's so much more, I was again going to say graspable. Just killing myself tonight. It makes it so much more easy for people to understand it. It makes it something more fun for people to want to do. So exactly like for me, I have Zoom calls every week with my team. I like seeing everybody's faces. My team's still really small, so I don't have 500 on my call like Lindsay does every week. But for me, when I'm on that call with my challengers and we're talking about coaching and what it's like, I say, oh, by the way, you know, we have like I do 2 team calls a week for my PS coaches and then for my team. And I tell them, and by the way, like, this is what we do every week. And you'll see me at least twice a week if you want to be. And it creates it more close to home for them. They're like, oh, okay. Like, I can connect with people on Facebook and I connect with them face to face. I can learn from Carly. I can learn from my other challengers who are with me. It just makes it easier for people to see. And it makes it easier for people to see a vision. When you keep it simple like that, and you keep it just as a conversation that's open and flowing. And honestly, you guys, it might not happen in that first try, but I often, at least I hope you guys do, you have challengers who stay with you for months and months. One of my girls, we just realized she's been with me, I think it's 14 months. And she's always a challenger. Gosh, one day she'll be a coach, one day. And she joins every single month when I say, I've only been doing this system, by the way, for the last 5 months. It hasn't always been a system. Like I said, when I was going for top 10, I learned these systems as I went. I kind of stumbled my way into top 10. But it became something that was a system because I did one call and I was like, that worked really well. I recruited 15 coaches in 5 days because I did this one call. I was like, I should do that again next month. And then it just became a system, just like you guys. If you notice you do something really well, you're like, oh, that worked. I should do that again. It becomes a system. So for me, I do those calls every month. And this one challenger of mine who's been with me forever, even knows about the coach discount. Like, she knows she can be a discount coach, still hasn't become a coach, but she gets on those calls every month and for the past 5 months. And every time she participates and adds such value to this group. And honestly, I think she's been a big part of why some of my other challengers have become coaches, because she's so passionate about what we do. So just know that it might not be that everyone who's on the call becomes coaches, but by seeing other people involved and other people interested, it gives people a safe spot to be able to talk and be able to have that conversation with you, because guaranteed, you guys, there's probably at least somebody who's wondering, sitting there, gosh, I wish I could do something like her. I wish I could work at home. I wish I could play with my dogs. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm kind of known as like being in my pajamas all day and always with my dogs. So, I've had people who literally email me that, or my challengers who literally email me that saying, I want to be at home with my dogs. Like, I want to do that. I want to do what you do. So just know, until you open up that conversation, you don't know who is waiting and just wanting to hear that. So to recap a little bit again, that system that I have is making your list of challengers to follow in the very beginning of the month, number one. Number two is the recognition and the affirmation of leadership qualities that you see daily in somebody, at least one person in your challenge group, even if it's the same person over and over and over. Shout somebody out. Number three is that week 3 call that I call it. It's kind of that sweet spot and that time to really connect with your challengers. Have that open and make a call available to them. And then number 4 is another shouting out of people once they become coaches, and making sure that conversation is continuous and open. If your first call doesn't go so well, don't let anybody else think that it didn't go well. Just say, great call, everybody. Super glad we all got to talk. Who cares? Tag them all still. It'll just create an ongoing conversation. So that way, maybe come next month in March, when after you had somebody who missed the call this month and decides that next month's their opportunity, they'll remember you saying that call was so awesome and they'll want to get on it. So anyway, it seems super simple, but for me, saying it because it's become such a system, but I hope maybe something new kind of inspired you or triggered something within you, and a new way for you to talk to people about coaching. Even if you're really, really great at recruiting, or if you're not really, really great at recruiting, either way, I hope there was a nugget in there for you to take away and to apply. And I really hope that you guys all do a call sometime this week. I hope Zoom explodes, because so many calls are going on, and you're talking to your challengers about coaching, because just know that you're depriving somebody of change in your life if they don't know about the coaching opportunity, and they don't know that they can join you, because a lot of people don't know. They think you have to be someone super cool and super special to be a coach, and you don't. I mean, we're all super cool and super special, but you don't have to have any crazy qualities that other coaches have. You just have to be you, and you have to love health and fitness, and that's what our challengers do. And the challengers that we want to become coaches are those people. So I hope that helped. I think, Lindsay, you said you wanted me to do some Q&A. I don't know if that was okay. Amazing call and a million takeaways. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Honestly, sometimes I never know how this is going to go. So, Lindsay, do you want me to stop broadcasting? I don't know if you want to type in that thing. Or you guys, if you have a question, you're adorable. Oh, thanks. You guys are so nice. Can you hit on your point system? Oh, yes. Lindsay, I'm assuming you meant, oh, wow, there's so many comments. I'm assuming you meant my point system and my challenge groups. Absolutely. So this is actually something, I'm getting distracted by all your comments. You guys are so nice. Okay, what did you discuss on your calls to bring up coaching? Okay, so when the first question that Lindsay wanted me to touch on, though, is my point system. So for me, I'm going to do kind of a nutshell. So if you don't get this all at once, listen to the recording and type it down, write it down. But I do a point system based on participation. I am an admin, obviously, in my challenge groups, and I'm the only one who can post in my challenge groups. I realized when everyone could post, it was a hot mess. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually losing my mind, I think. So I made it very simple. I do 3 posts a day. It's only me. No one else can post in the group. They comment on my posts. In the morning, I always have a task for them. Anything from, share a morning selfie to what was your personal development reading, because I have my challengers read personal development. So easy. Another transition from challenger to coach. I have my challengers read personal development to, how's your day going? Anything, something simple. And then I have a second post of the day is open forum for questions and sharing pictures or whatever it is. And then the third post of the night is a wrap up. How was your day? Share all that. So I have a point system based on participation. They get 2 points, honor system for doing Shakeology and their workouts, honor system. I can't really track that. a 1 point for participating in the challenge group, the post, like at least doing one post and doing some sort of comment. And then I do 5 points for them posting on social media. Now, this is another strategic thing for me to do because I really affirm the people in my challengers who are posting publicly about their social media and about their journey, because the ones who are willing to post about it, I know will be great coaches. So they're another person to follow. So like I said, it was 2 points, 1 point, and then 5 points for social media posts and tagging me. So even if they don't become a coach, it's more exposure for you as a coach, more exposure for them tagging you in a challenge group post. If they're not ready to be a coach, they can say, hey, talk to my coach Carly. She'll be happy to sign you up. Can't even tell you how many referrals I've gotten from that. So the point system is honor system. I always, almost 99% of the time, my challengers who have the most points end up becoming coaches. So when I send them a gift for having the most points in the challenge group, it's actually really a new coach welcome gift, which then, of course, they post and tag me in, and all their fellow challengers see it. It just becomes another way to open up the conversation. So it's all about opening up that conversation. But again, my point system is pretty simple, based on participation. And at the end of the month, when whoever has the most points, who usually ends up becoming a coach, gets a gift from me. Nothing special, team gear, a water bottle, nothing super cool. Okay, quick question. Okay, so I think a few of you asked about what I talk about. Honestly, okay, you're asking about the points. You listen to the recording and you guys can hear it again. Sorry, I want to get to all your questions. What do I talk about on my calls with my coach? Honestly, it's like super casual. Like at first, the first 5 minutes will be like, how's everybody's night? Like, how's your weekend? And I'm just talking to people. And then I'll be like, okay, you guys, like, let's talk. So you guys all have questions. I ask them all to come with questions. And if they don't, usually, honestly, you guys, usually they come with questions because they're like, well, what is this about? Tell your story. Tell why you're a coach. Why did you become a coach? Why do you want to help people? Teach people, talk about why they get a discount, how they can pay for their own Shakeology. I always say, you guys, can you think of 3 people off the top of your head who you know would probably be willing to join you in this journey if you became a coach, or if you inspired them to join you? And almost always they're like, oh yeah, I can name 3 people. I'm like, awesome. You'd have more than enough to pay for your own Shakeology if you sign them up. And they're like, oh, really? So honestly, it's really that simple. There's no special sauce that I have in these calls. It's literally just me talking and opening up the conversation about coaching, about my story, why I became a coach, tell your story, why you became a coach, and then ask them if they know of 3 people that they'd be willing to help. And then it opens up that conversation again. And not only is that Success Club, that's also commission, and they got their own Shakeology covered, and guaranteed when somebody gets their Shakeology covered in their first month as a coach, they don't want to stop. So that's how I open up that conversation. Do you keep people in the challenge group without a new challenge pack? That's a very loaded question. I have such a large following on Instagram that I don't anymore. People do have to I do require challenge packs to be in my challenge groups because I believe in the value of it. I mean, if you don't see the value, I don't know why you'd want to work with me, because I truly believe in the value of the challenge pack. That's what I started with. Yes, so people have to have challenge packs to be in my challenge groups. Absolutely. I run free cleaning groups, not as often anymore, just because my market has really expanded. But when I was a newer coach, I was running free clean eating groups like up the wazoo. I was doing them all month, and that's a great way to build your contact list. But I do, for my really special challenge groups, I do require challenge packs because it makes it more intimate, it makes it more connected. It's hard to connect with somebody who didn't invest in a challenge pack when you invested the 140 and they didn't. So yeah. Do you know, oh my goodness, so many questions. What PD, I usually have them read The Compound Effect. So if you haven't read The Compound Effect yourself, I don't even, I'm just kind of speechless if you haven't, but get on reading The Compound Effect, and I have them read that. So that's books not only for coaching and business, it's for life. So yeah, they read The Compound Effect. Just wondered with the girl who's done it for 14 months. I don't know what that was towards. Do your new coaches from the month before have challengers in your group? What about discount coaches who want to be in a group for accountability? I'm not sure what that first question meant, but my discount coaches, yeah, absolutely. They get to be in my challenge groups. I mean, if you're getting Shakeology every month, you have a place with me forever and ever and ever. I never get rid of people. I always say, if you're getting your Shakeology and you're doing workouts, you're stuck with me forever. So yeah. What is free clean eating? Carly, that's something that you can do. Okay, sorry, I don't know, I heard you, but I just say free clean eating group. That's the kind of stuff that, I'm sure you guys talk about.
Yes, it's going to echo for a second, guys. I know, so you know it's coming.
What the girl was asking was, do you let your, let's say the challengers that become coaches, do you let them be like apprentice coaches in your challenge? Do you have their challengers go in, or do you have them start initially by themselves? Does that make sense? Got it. All right. So I'm telling you guys, this instant presenter thing, it's just not, I'm not good at it. So I'm sorry. Thank you for telling me. You couldn't hear me. So what was the question? Oh, challengers. So when I have a new coach and they have 3 challengers and they hit Success Club and they want to run a challenge group, yes, I do have the option available, but I almost make it sound like a cop-out. So I'm like, yeah, I guess you can put them in mine, but why aren't you running your own? So it kind of holds them accountable to do their own. But I also pair up my new coaches. Like obviously, if I have 3 new coaches in January and they all hit Success Club, that's what 3 people times 3, that's 9. That's 9 challengers between 3 coaches, and they team up and they do it together. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I would. Yeah, absolutely. If one of my coaches said, I really need your help, I don't know what I'm doing, but all of my coaches, no, not all, that's a lie. 90% of my coaches have been in my challenge groups before, so they know how to run their own. I mean, I think that's a cop-out if you need to have your hand held. Sorry, I'm a little bit of tough love, so if you're like, oh my gosh, that's just kind of how I am. I think that's a cop-out to ask to be in a challenge group when you've already been in one. If I have a coach who's been, who does like a coach mentorship with me where they've never done a challenge group, absolutely. I put them in my challenge groups first so they can get a sneak peek. But other than that, if I have challengers who become coaches and then they're not willing to run their own challenge groups, that's a big red flag for me. So I pair them up. I never like go say, fly, be alone, but I pair them up together, and then they have all the resources that I had in my own challenge group, so they know what to do. Yeah, I'm big about pushing birds out of the nest, if that makes sense. Oh my goodness. Do you let challengers roll over the next month? Yes, I let challengers roll over to the next month. I require monthly Shakeology, but I do give a month leeway. If somebody's like, honestly, I was traveling for 2 weeks of the month, didn't drink my Shakeology. In February, they postponed their Shakeology in February. I say, okay, as long as you're getting it again in March, totally fine. I'll give you a pass. But yeah, it keeps people accountable. It's like I said before, it's hard to connect when you have some challengers who are investing in their Shakeology every month and some who aren't. It's like, I don't know. I think it's hard for people to connect when they're all not investing in the same thing and investing in their health. So yes, I do require my Shakeology, and yes, absolutely. My challengers aren't 30 days done and gone. Mine are, you're with me forever. Like my challenger, I said, who was with me for 14 months. Yeah, they're always welcome to stay with me as long as they're doing their thing and getting their Shakeology. Do you have a name for your challenge group? No, I mean, right now, it's Love Your Body. March, it might be like March Madness. April, I think it was, I don't even know what April will be, spring something. Spring into fitness, fall was falling into fitness. I mean, no, I'm kind of just casual that way. Okay, I don't know if I see any other, do you put everyone in a new group, or you already answered that one? Yeah, Lindsay, if you want to hop in and have you stopped. Yeah. With 500 people, you're going to get questions all night. But thank you so much. Stop broadcasting. You're good. You did amazing. Thank you so much. I'll finish out the call. So first off, I didn't want to stay on echo with both of us because I know it's crazy, but Carly, awesome notes. I took notes myself, and I definitely feel like that was a call that you guys needed. Of course, you have more questions, and we have a lot more to come. I just want to let you guys know ahead of time that we have a call next week with Kendra Fletcher, who is, if you know. Hold on.
I cut it off now. Let me stop my screen share. Hey, beautiful people. Can you hear me? All right, I hope you guys got some nuggets out of that. I did. One of the things that I want to start doing, which I never thought of doing, is hosting a coaching opportunity call with our challenge groups. I want to be careful with it because I don't want my challengers to feel like they're coming in there to work on their fitness journey, but they're being pushed into some sort of coaching opportunity. But I think there's a savvy way to do it. And so I'm going to kind of, if you guys have any ideas, I would love to hear it. You can post it in Epic Empire. But I think it's an interesting idea, and I think it's something that will, encourage our challengers. I know a lot of times when I have challengers in my groups and I mention coaching, some of you guys are those people. I mention coaching to you and you think, seriously, you think I would be a good coach? And it's a surprise and you feel honored. And I think sometimes we hold that back because of our own fears. So I don't know. I'm going to plow over that idea that she had, and hopefully you guys took away some helpful information. Hey, look, Mrs. Marilyn's on the call. Hey. Anyways, I want to open it up. Do you guys have any questions? Anybody? Sarah?
I have a question that's not about the call, but Jenny was asking me a question earlier and I didn't know the answer to it. She was asking about her coaches that she has signed. They're still listed as inactive in the coach online office. How long does it take for it, how does it become active? I don't know how. I can't remember when mine came active, and I wasn't sure what the answer was, and Alex didn't answer the phone, so I'm gonna ask you.
Go figure. I think what happens is if they bought a challenge pack and they enrolled as a coach after they'd already bought a challenge pack, right?
Right. Jenny,
No, they started at the same time.
Oh, well, if they bought a challenge pack, they should be active, because what makes them active is that they have 50 personal volume. And that could be Shakeology, that's a challenge pack, that's anything that's 50 volume points. They should be an active coach. Now, if they signed up with just a club membership, then no, they wouldn't.
No, both of them bought challenge packs.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I look at my graphical genealogy, they're both still gray.
And did they do it today and time?
One of them did it a week ago, and the other girl did it yesterday. So I didn't expect for the girl that did it yesterday to be active, but the girl who did it a week ago is still showing up gray.
Yeah, if I were you, I would call coach relations, because there's no reason they shouldn't be active. If they're
They're both showing as active.
They are.
Yeah, the graphical genealogy takes longer than if you just were to put your I don't even know what it's called.
The sponsorship drill down.
Yeah, your sponsorship drill down. That one takes longer for whatever reason. The graphical genealogy and all that, I only, honestly, since all these coaches are new, don't go in there and mess with stuff until you've gone to your upline and been hey, what do you think about this? Because I promise you will screw everything up by the click of one little person on accident. You'll have people on inside legs, and Jatana can tell you so many people have screwed everything up. Don't touch it unless somebody has guided your finger there or done it for you until you're obviously good enough. But yeah, there you go. I checked for you as you were saying it.
Okay,
So if you guys have no clue what we're talking about, in your back office, under the coach tab, there is I don't know what it is, but anyways, you either can go to graphical genealogy, or if you go down to the very bottom, there's sponsorship drill down. And I always use sponsorship drill down. That's hard to say, because it's a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to see. The only time you use the graphical genealogy is when you're setting your coach placement. And what do I mean by that? Say you're a new coach and you want a coach on your left and a coach on your left and a coach on your right. You want to set that placement. I always set a coach placement manually every single time I sign a coach, which can be kind of stressful when you're signing, and this will happen for you guys, when you're signing 8 coaches at one time. You're oh, hold on. Alice, you go first. Wes, you go second. Michelle, you go third. But even in that case, you can call coach relations and get it fixed if you mess it up. But you only have 72 hours to switch them from the wrong spot. You don't want people in your inside because they don't benefit from the team volume. I posted in Epic Empire today that our volume is really huge this week. So if you're an Emerald coach or above, you're going to get your team bonus cycle, and it's going to be a lot bigger than normal because our volume is, I don't know what happened. I guess it's Team Cup, but it's exploded. And so I'm excited for all these Emerald and above coaches to get their bonuses tomorrow, or to see their bonuses tomorrow. Questions? That was a good question. Thank you, Jenny, for bringing that up.
With team volume, I don't know if I'm talking with someone else that's talking right now, but I'm just going to keep talking. So, so the team volume, so Sarah's my upline sponsor, and then Alex is like the diamond above Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
So with team volume, when Sarah signs someone, that's going to affect my team volume, but not when Alex signs someone, right?
Well, it depends on what leg. So, for example, hold on, I gotta find I'll show you, because this is really confusing, and I think a lot of people have the same question. If I was really savvy, I'd pull off my little dry erase board that I have over there, but I'm not. Okay, and there's, let me see, hold on a second. Give me a sec. Okay, so this is you, right? Your coach, and your upline is up here. And so Sarah and Alex, they're way up here. So you sign coaches, and depending on what leg, so if you're on Sarah's, say you're on Sarah's right leg, you're on this leg right here of Sarah's, so hers continues to go up, 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 all the way up to Jatana, and even further, actually, pretty much Jatana and Lori. Everybody that Sarah and Alex and anybody on the right side signs, you will benefit from. The only person that can add to your other leg is you. Okay, so you're a part of a team that has a ton of volume over here, and we can give you like 8,000 volume points, but you got to build this side. But you have to also consider, going to diamond, you got to have 1, 2, all these coaches here and here. So you have to do both. But at the same time, for example, Alex, she really likes to milk the financial side of volume. So she's got like 4 coaches on her weak leg or on her strong leg and like 50 coaches on her weak leg. And she's just reaping in the benefits of the team already producing and then her people that she puts over here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So yeah, we all benefit from each other depending on what side you're on. So like if you're on my right leg, you're benefiting from Kelly, Alex, Stacy. If you're on my left leg, you're benefiting, I would say Josh, but it's not really Josh, it's me. Annette and my second business center. You guys are all benefiting from that side and all benefiting from this side. So you should know what your power leg is. Your power leg is wherever your upline placed you. Does that make sense? It gets confusing, but I promise the more you start learning about it, it makes more sense over time.
I literally just looked. I have 13 active coaches on my left and 4 on my right.
Oh, believe me, I look at your business center every Wednesday night.
I said it like that. My preferred placement is left outside leg because I need money more than a star next to my diamond.
And that's the strategic thing. It just depends on how you want to run your business. Some people are motivated by recognition, and so they want the star diamond. And in Alex's situation, she's getting lots of team volume commission or bonus opposed to being a 4-star diamond coach. You know what I mean? So she might only be a 1-star diamond, but she's probably making more money than some 4-stars because she strategically built her business. That makes sense? Any other questions? Some heavy stuff here. I'm here. Come on, ask away, Tara. It's good to see you on the call, girlfriend. Didn't you just have a baby? Have you had your baby? I can't.
Hi. Yeah, I did. He's little Timmy. He's 8 weeks old.
Oh, congratulations.
He's doing awesome. He's actually sleeping right now, so we'll let him go and, see what happens. But yeah, we're doing awesome.
No excuses. 8 weeks old. She's one sleep-deprived mama. I know it.
Oh, yeah. Day 9, and I can't feel anything.
Oh, poor thing. Rest. And Libby, happy birthday. Your birthday was yesterday. And Stephanie, we missed your birthday like 2 weeks ago. And I like to call you Sue, Mrs. Marilyn, because I don't know how to say this middle name. How do you pronounce it? Unmute yourself. She's like, how? Oh, we still can't hear you. You got earbuds in or something. Anyways, this is Sue. She's Mrs. Maryland. She'll be traveling to Las Vegas with me. So I'm super excited, and she's rocking the business as well. But Sue, you gotta tell me how you say the middle name because I messed that up. All right, anybody else? Let's see.
I'll ask one more question to Tana for you. With your scheduled meetings, is there any way, I know your availability is like crazy, and I did post on like your personally sponsored coaches and just about getting to talk to you like one-on-one. The times that are available in September, I have to go back to my office job, boo. But so I don't have like, I don't even know if I'll ever be able to schedule something to talk to you. So I'd like to like definitely one-on-one with you, but I don't know if I'll be able to. So if you can, at any point.
No, and if you go in my, sorry for anybody who's not a personally sponsored, but I do one-on-one, and if you have an upline, they do one-on-ones as well, or they should be. You can challenge them, say, hey, I need a one-on-one with you. I do one-on-ones with my personally sponsored coaches, and if you guys are, you just go and sign up for it with the, is it Calendly, whatever the link is that Libby posts. And I know that I have no evening openings, and it's because I'm doing a Monday night call with our Coach Basics group. I'm doing a Wednesday night call with this group, and my family might kill me if I continue to not be available in the evening. So I can make some exceptions, but I try to really protect my times that I'm there at the dinner table with the kids and putting them to bed and doing things like that. But daytimes, I 10:30, and when school starts, my schedule will open up a ton, and so I'll have that whole time while the kids are in school to really pour into you guys. And you know, one-on-ones are great. It's that time to just sit down and be like, I'm so frustrated and stressed out about this. How do I, deal with it? And I can help walk you through it. And if you're not my personally sponsored and you still feel like you need support, please reach out to me or reach out to Libby, and we will get you connected. All right. Anybody else? No? It's hot. I'm kidding. Oh, you like our sweaters? All those who rank advance in the month of August, it's an Epic Empire sweater. You see it? It's super comfy. It'll kind of go off the shoulder a little bit.
Is that your personally sponsored, or is that everybody is personally sponsored?
I don't know. If we have a big booming month, I might actually let everybody that gets it rank advance in the month of August.
Yeah, and did you change it? Is it the whole month of August, or is it just tonight, this week?
Oh, you're killing me.
At first you said it was all of August, and then it was by August 12th.
August 19th. So if you rank advance by August 19th, then you get the Epic Empire sweater sent to you.
Oh, good. Because I was so sad that it wasn't going to be by tonight.
Or if you regain your rank. So if you've lost rank and you regain it, you get an Epic Empire sweater. So it's so cute and it's so comfortable. I literally could wear it every day. Anybody else?
So pink too.
Oh, okay. So I can get a guy's version. I'll get you a little hoodie or something.
You man the sweater,
Sorry, Wesley.
I'd wear a pink one because that would mean I would be actually producing something to earn something. So I would happily take a pink sweater to show that I've accomplished anything.
We have guys.
I'd frame it and hang it on my wall.
Poor Wes. I'm sorry.
Do we have, Jatana, are there any other coaches aside from you and then me and Kelly that run a team? Well, does Annette run a team?
Annette has Team Evolution.
If anybody else has a team that actually begins to start a team, just so you know, all of our Epic apparel, oh my gosh, my 2-year-old just woke up. All our Epic apparel and everything, I can hook you up with a girl that does it, and she's very reasonable. Okay, come here. Anyways, you can message me if you want apparel. And I picked up all mine tonight, and I'm so excited right now.
I want one.
I got you one, don't worry.
Oh, hi, Hayden.
Hayden, say hi. Hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh, this kid's so big. All right, well, I'll let you guys go. It's past 10 o'clock, and I try to, time. So have a good night. Thank you for being on the call. Go rank advance. You get a sweater by August 9th.
Sarah.
And I'll get a guy sweater for you. Yes.
That is Sarah. That is Sarah.
Hi.
Say hi, Tanner.
Hi, Tanner.
Do you say hi, Tana?
Yes.
What are all your kids doing up, Alex?
My kid, we just walked through the door from football at 9:10. That's why I was late.
Okay.